Yeah, so it's important to, when you don't get closure, especially if you're autistic, you can get your own forms of closure, um, and then you can say, oh, like they might have not given you the time. But and another thing, it's like someone who had a lot less of an effect, you know, or maybe because Bridget, when you look at when I look at pictures of Bridget, who's supposed to be the Celtic goddess of um, fertility, creativity, like creative inspiration and creative ideas and poetry and things like that. She looks like my mum. Like I seen photos of my mum when my mum was like in her early 20s, and Bridget is like wasn't a real wow. Some Celtic belief system followers, they want to say, oh no, there might be some artifacts or whatever. The Catholic Church says that Bridget was a saint, but actually but the saint was born on in February on a certain date. But that's funny because that's supposed to be in Celtic mythology the same date that the Celtic goddess of inspiration, creativity, and fertility, and other things. But those are the three that come to my mind. Um, that she was born, right? That's for those who gave birth dates. But they don't look exactly the same, but it's like, you know. But then there's other ones where she looks different. Like she's got like orange hair instead of um, dark brown hair, or so the image has changed over time. But I have seen some others that look like my mum. Basically, looks like my mum when she was in her early 20s, but then you have like this shine around them, and Saint Bridget the Irish Catholic Church, but then you see, oh, that was founded a few hundred years ago. But then you see that the Celtic goddess Bridget um, has been around for thousands of years. So that's how they're here. Anyway, you can be like, okay, well, they may not have been like that in real life and that type of thing. They might not have been there for you, or they didn't want the best for you, or they gave bad, they say, oh, we do, but then they give you bad advice. But that bad advice was given to me by my mother. But then you can have a tarot deck that's got a picture of someone that's like, okay, if there was like a still picture, it was like painted or drawn on, what would they look like? And they look like the same. And then this tarot deck, it's not them speaking to you, it's spirit speaking to you. And then you can say, oh, they're giving me all this great advice and great thing, and you know that's not coming from them, and that the spirit doesn't want you to fail. Spirit wants you to succeed. Things always work out in the long term as well as this, and sometimes it's very topsy turvy with the short term. Sometimes you can pull a you can say, "Am I going to succeed at this certain venture?" You'll say no, and you're like, oh, "What's going on?" And then you further ask, and then it gives explanations of where you're going wrong, and then you can correct that, and then things end up working out in the long term. So here's the thing: you get closure. You can get closure by that. It's your own closure. So you never get that in real life, but you get that sense of it by having something that looks like a picture of them, but someone else drew it on there, but they look alike. And every time you follow the advice that comes from it, it ends up being a blessing to your life rather than bad things happening or nothing happening, you know? Alright, guys, I'm gonna go do my washing and get my groceries now. See you. Well, Your neighbours are home. See ya. Bye. My next recordings will be next week, and it'll be the Hindu stuff, and then the Christian Jewish stuff the week after, and then it's just going to be how I think this team's going to win, or might have a video of me at a game or something. Just things like when those happened. All right, see you. Yay, my people pleasing side and having to explain things is dying because I've already decided that's what's going to happen. That's why I put the process in place.